In many ways, he was just an average Jew, a child to poor Eastern European parents. He advanced only because he was bright and got a spot in school for gifted children. He wanted to become a lawyer, but his mom pressured him to become a doctor. He had a father-in-law who thought he wasn't good enough for his wife. He was a parent to 3 children. When Jonas Salk embarked on what would become a 7-year project in 1948, polio was killing or paralyzing more than 500,000 people each year. Salk wanted to study the disease, and within 7 years, he had discovered a vaccine that enabled the eradication of that pervasive illness. To boot, he decided not to patent or profit from the vaccine because to him, its universal use was more important than anything else. The man understood that he was a single person, and his private gains couldn't outweigh the salvation of billions of others. He died in 1995. His legacy lives on. In history, Jews have produced ample cultural treasures, the enduring significance of which far outlives the lives of the mere mortals who created them. Just a few examples. The Torah, a simple, relatively short, literarily flawed collection of writings. Whether read as folklore or sacred literature, the 5,845 verses within, yes, I had to look that up, they are at their core just words on a page, put there at some point by individuals who sought to create something of enduring meaning. Well, as we still read them today, we can clearly say they accomplished their mission. Our sacred scroll has had more influence on the course of human history than almost any other composition. All because, some thousands of years ago, someone's set out to capture the ineffable. They left a legacy. The Talmud, another example. Certainly the work of mere mortals. A seemingly banal collection of culture, laws, and stories written by the original rabbis living in the first millennium. Did they know, I wonder, when they collected their words, that they'd leave an imprint on the Jewish people that would exist for the next 1,500 plus years? Could they have even known? We cannot know, but we can vouch that their legacy remains. The Tabernacle, an ancient hub for Israelite cultic practice, the precursor to the temple, the place our people first formally united in religious practice. These two physical structures, the tabernacle and the temple, are long gone. But we still use a system of prayer that descends from that time, even praying in the direction where the temple once stood. The concept of these structures still capture our imagination. The space the temple occupied still inspires holiness. Its legacy remains. From the Torah to the Talmud, the tabernacle to the Temple Sholom today, we are a people experienced with creating institutions and ideas that leave legacies. But how? Let me ask the question. What does it take to create a lasting legacy? A legacy like these examples. What would it take so our community could leave an imprint on the Jewish future? I would say 3 things. Number 1, kemach, flour. By the way, it's one of our values, so if you go out in the hallway and you see it, that's our kemach. Our tradition teaches im ein kemach, ein Torah, im ein Torah, ein kemach. Without flour, there is no Torah. Without Torah, there is no flour. It may be banal, but we cannot leave a legacy without ensuring that the basic needs that we have are met. Had our ancestors who experienced the divine not been physically stable enough, had they not had enough means, not just food, but without ink and quills and parchment, ein Torah, the Torah literally would not have been written. Now, as Jews today, unless we are scribes, and I don't know that any of us in this room are, we are not worried about the finances of literally writing the Torah, or the Talmud for that matter. We're not looking for building tools to build a tabernacle, but still our needs are not so different. Im ein kemach, without flour, without the support in funds or time that people like us offer, it doesn't matter how big our legacy could be, because it won't be. Sholom, for one, is headed big places. It will be able to leave a legacy provided we support it so it has the means to do so. The truth, though, as we all know, is that kemach isn't enough. Kemach is existence. It gives us opportunity, but it alone will not leave a legacy. So that takes us to number 2, kahila, community. None of our greatest achievements occur in social isolation. To have real impact, we must magnify our forces by joining together in community. There's an old saying, which I love: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. No doubt it is easier to accomplish many things in life if we just do them by ourselves. However, the legacy we leave behind is not one of those things. Legacy creation is a game of bridge, not solitaire. Obviously, building projects like the Temple or the Tabernacle require large cooperative enterprises. Likewise with producing sacred texts. But so too even did something like Jonas Salk's work. Did he create a polio vaccine on his own? Of course not. Did he discover how to mass produce it? Did he administer it to the millions and millions of people who needed it? No. He had partners, from family and friends who supported him along the way, to teachers who taught him what he needed to know, to coworkers who assisted him in his research, to funders who gave him kemach, that is flour, capital, to pursue his ideas, to millions of other researchers and healthcare workers who took a brilliant medical development and allowed it to gather all the needs it could to become the greatest medical innovation of the 20th century. That's how you make a legacy. There is, however, one last ingredient I haven't touched on, still necessary to have enduring impact. And while legacies require both kemach and kahila, that is, resources and community, this is perhaps even more important than those. That is vision. If kemach and kahila are the how, then vision is the why. It is why we determine what we do, why we set particular goals, why our legacy will not just last, but why it is worth pursuing in the first place. In his fittingly named book, Start With Why, Simon Sinek provides helpful guidance on which we can build. For values or guiding principles to be truly effective, he says, they have to be verbs. It's not integrity, it's always do the right thing. It's not innovation, it's look at the problem from a different angle. Sounds pretty true. Articulating our values as verbs gives us clarity, guidance of how to act in any situation. This is the approach to long-term thinking, which leads us toward doing big things, which facilitates the transformation of our values and ideas into vision. That vision, when sought with kemach and kahila, resources and community, is what we parlay into legacy. So what's our vision? Is it living a life of meaning? Is it building bridges with those of common cause and purpose? Is it creating a future where our descendants will flourish as American Jews? Whatever it may be, we will only achieve the legacy toward which it leads us by knowing it, believing it, and relentlessly pursuing it. Now, it might go without saying, but I've got legacy on the mind not just because the tabernacle's construction is a feature of Parshat Tetzaveh, but because my family said goodbye this last week to my grandma, Ida Schwartz, my mother's mother, this week. She was the last of my mother's parents, and she passed away at 95. She was a charter member of Temple Sholom, which is where my own mother and her siblings got their Jewish start. Even though the version of Sholom my grandmother knew looked rather different from the one that exists today, the very fact that we are sitting here is a testament to her and others' lasting legacy in producing a vibrant home for Jewish life. The thousands of people Sholom has helped in its 71-year history, the thousands of children who have been raised by our members, the thousands of weddings, funerals, brises, baby namings, b'nai mitzvahs we have facilitated. These and more are a testament to the flourishing of Jewish continuity and celebration. All this only possible due to Kemach, Kehila, and Vision. Our money, our blood, sweat, and tears, our peers, our minions, chaveras, and support groups, our vision and our why, our consistent commitment to justice, these will all continue to form and serve to be our legacy. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will.